Alright, so I've never tried to make a croissant before, and just like the tortillas, I'm going to attempt to do it. I've read up quite a lot on different types of how to do croissants. It seems like a lot bigger of a task than I first assumed was going to be a thing. Some recipes say it's going to take 3 days, some recipes say it's going to take 7 hours, one says 4, it might be a couple of days. I have all the ingredients here, hopefully, though apparently the butter is meant to be room temperature, and one says room temperature, one doesn't. So I'm going to find one recipe that I like out of all of them and go with that one as my prime example of how to make a croissant, and just use one recipe. I'm not going to be using multiple recipes like the tortilla because that just seems like a lot more effort and a lot more days than I have currently. A lot more days and hours than I have on my fingers. Making croissants means I do get to bring this out of the storage that I had it in, and I finally get to use my baby again. So I'm following this recipe like a Bible. It says with the milk, which is 175 grams, I'm going to put it in the microwave, warm it up, so I can put the yeast in and activate the yeast. This recipe hopefully works for me. I'm going to follow each step very precisely. So it says put 1 tablespoon of yeast in and 2 teaspoons. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to mix it in a little bit and put it to the side. While we're waiting for the yeast to activate, I'm going to chuck in the 5 cups of flour into the mixer. I'm using a dough hook because that feels right because we're making a dough, so I'm hoping that's the correct piece of equipment. If not, sorry. I am trying to follow it to the best of my ability without going sideways. So we've got this. We have got this. One, 2, 3, 4. This seems like a lot of flour. 5. Seems like way too much flour, but we'll go with it. So all ingredients are ready. So I'm going to chuck in the 3.5 teaspoons of butter that it didn't say melt, but I've like softened it up because it's a little hard. I don't have a 2/3 cup, so I'm going to use a 1/2 cup and 2 tablespoons for the water. I'm going to chuck in the yeast and hopefully it'll combine. Hopefully I've done the right steps. I've made cinnamon scrolls. I feel like this is kind of the same thing at the moment. We'll see what happens. This seems like an incredibly dry dough, unless I've got to add more liquid in, and I've already added quite a bit of liquid in. I'll just add the salt in and maybe a little bit more water. So I don't think it's meant to look like this. It doesn't look quite right. I'm going to mix it for a bit longer. I don't think the KitchenAid is handling the dough, but that's fine. I mean, it's looking doughy, just not nice dough. So I put it on for a bit longer. My KitchenAid started screaming, so I've taken it off. It looks good. It looks incorporated. I'm going to now put it in a hot spot for about 30 minutes until it doubles, and we'll find out. At least that's what the recipe says. Find out if it actually puffs up or not. So last time we spoke, I had left this aside to rise for 30 minutes. I read a bit more ahead of the recipe and I put it into the fridge because that's what it said, because I was completely ignoring that the first time. It's now day 2 of this recluse mission of mine to hope to God I get some good croissants. We're now going to degas the dough apparently. So you're going to take this out and then press the dough roughly into a 23 times 20 centimeter rectangle. And then we're going to rewrap the dough and place it into the freezer for 15 minutes. Let's go, I guess. If you can't tell, I have my phone with the recipe in front of me at all times. It has become my Bible. So I'm going to press this into a 20 by 20 centimeter and then freeze it. I mean, do I need a ruler? Do I need to be exact? Does it really matter? Yeah, it's about 20 centimeters by 23, which is kind of a weird number. Okay. And then we're going to wrap it and put it in the freezer. Which once again, weird idea to put dough in the freezer. But apparently it's to make it like the butter, like the same kind of texture. So apparently we've got to make a butter block, and it should be about 15 by 20 centimeters. So I think it's gonna be a little bit smaller than the dough. I'm gonna mark it, so I'm not gonna mark this. I'd rather not. So I'm gonna cut this down. I don't have a rolling pin. I don't even know if this, I might need less butter than this. Be right back. Okay, so we're now gonna make the butter block. I only needed about 300 grams and this is a 500 gram block. So I'm gonna cut off about that much. And put that back in the fridge. So apparently I now need to, and I said I've got the recipe with me at all times at the moment, place the butter in the center of the marked rectangle. I'm not going to mark it because I can see, I don't want to put any non-edible things on here. And then using a rolling pin, gently tap the butter to begin to soften. The butter should become palatable but not soft and melty. If the butter is too soft, put it back in the fridge. Okay, that's fair. So we're going to do that until it gets to space. We can do that, easy. Unwrap the butter and use the bench scraper to straighten the shape. So, wait, what do we, did I just miss a whole thing? Or plastic paper wrap and face down. Oh, okay, so you meant to mark it and flip over, that's fine. Plastic over the butter. Okay, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this. Like so. And now I'm gonna hunt down a rolling pin. Okay, I can't find a rolling pin, but I do have a bottle of wine, so. Let's just try not to break the bottle of wine. You know what would make this easier if I cut it down and then roll it? That would be the smart decision. And then I could go, wait. Here. And here. And it makes my life a lot easier. So. Now. This butter is so hard. Was I meant to leave it at room temperature? It didn't say room temperature. Be right back while I struggle. So I've been at this for a little while. I have found a measuring tape. This is all we've got. Okay, so we needed 20. Okay, I've gone a little over. Let's just, whoop, 20 by 10. That makes, what? That, oh, it's 15 by 20. Okay, but even then, so 15 would be here. So I'm not completely, no, I'm completely off. So I'm gonna go close it off a bit more. That's not too hard. So, I think it's like 12 croissants, this recipe. That's still a little offensive, Jesus. I think that's the best I'm gonna get it. It says with a scraper, fix the sides, but I just have a knife. Maybe I should invest in a rolling pin and a knife. Next investments. It ain't perfect. Wait, what if I just... It ain't perfect, but it's still beautiful. Look at a girl. Right. I'm just fixing it a little bit. Moving and a little bit better over there. Voila. Yeah, I'm just gonna move this to the side. There's no instructions of what I need to do next, so like for the butter. So I'm gonna put it aside for now. Okay, the dough's out of the freezer. I have had to take the board off the bench and put and clean it down. I'll do another clean down before I actually let the dough go on the bench. Now apparently I need to lock in the dough and lock in the butter. So, because this is the lock-in stage. So I'm gonna have to roll this out and then put the butter in. I think they fold over, but we'll get there in a second. This is really cold. I wonder if it kills the yeast this way. I mean, it shouldn't. Okay, so we have to roll this out to 23 centimeters by 35 centimeters, which is a little bit bigger than the butter. So 35 centimeters is about that. Ooh, come back. So we'll aim for that first. It's a bit of a weird one that I'm using this, but it's fine. It's gonna be quite a thick dough. And then there'll be like 23 centimeters, that's not too hard. So we get to this one first. By 23, which is, oh, a shit ton smaller. Wait, what if I just go? I mean, the bottom isn't quite square. That's about right size. I'm trying not to let the measuring tape, because it's not clean, touch anything. Now, we've got to use your hands to straighten out the edges. Oh my god, I was a step ahead. I'm a genius. And then brush off any excess flour from the surface. And then we're going to unwrap the butter and place it in the middle of the dough. So I don't really need to unwrap it because I just kind of left it behind me. Just straight in the middle. Da-da! And then what? and then fold the left and right sides of the dough to the center. Okay. It's like wrapping a little baby. Oh, sweet little baby. Then, we're pinching it together. Pinchy. Wait, it's meant to be like that? That doesn't, I thought I'd be folding it again. I guess not. that doesn't quite. Use a rolling pin to tap along the length of the dough, applying enough pressure that the rolling pin makes a light indentation. So, like that, I guess. Light indentation. Bueno. And then, next stage. Roll and first fold. Turn the 90 degrees. I'm already covered in flour. Wunderbar. I don't have a sheeter, so we're kind of... I don't know what a sheeter is. I'm not going to buy one for one thing. So raise the sheeter or roller arm to use above the thickness of dough. That doesn't really help. So we're going to try and use flour sparingly. So we're getting the butter in the dough. So it's going to be 5 centimeters thick. 5 centimeters thick? Bruh! I'm not exactly that thick. Do I fold it now? So it's going to be like 74 centimeters long. Wait. Bruh, that's, can I even get, that's as long as my bench. All right. How is it meant to be 5 centimeters thick and 74%? What are you doing to me? I mean, it won't make it to 74%. Oh, I mean, we might struggle, but it won't be 5 centimeters thick. Seems a bit long. I'm sure, was it 5 centimeters? Oh, 5 millimeters. Ooh, that was a bit of a dumb mistake on my half. I don't think I'm gonna get it any longer without destroying the dough. I think. Wait. The struggle is real. We got this, guys. Though I'm never gonna eat a croissant again, realizing how much butter is in a croissant. How many calories is in a croissant? It's got that much butter. So the instructions are unclear, but I'm pretty sure it's we bring it into the middle, make sure we brush off the excess, and we bring the other side in the middle. So it kind of makes a seam again, I think. And then I think instruction unclear, please repeat. Instruction unclear, please repeat. Then you'll have an off-center seam. Yeah, a little bit off-center. And next, take the block of dough and fold it in half as closing a book. Did. Gently press the seals to the yap. At this point, I should have known that I wasn't doing as well as I thought. Turn the thing to 90 degrees. Bingo bango. So that the folded edges are parallel. Bring the roller arm, I don't have a roller arm, and begin to pass through the dough. I don't have it. I could have used anyone else's instructions. Who has a sheeter? It's gonna be like 5 millimeters again. Whether this works or not, it's still gonna be eaten by someone in this place. I'm gonna give it to people and be like, please eat. I've made a mistake, a grand mistake. I mean, I see why it's got so many folds in it. Okay, so we're doing another single fold. So we're going from the long edge facing me. Take the left third of the dough. What? And fold it towards the center. Wouldn't that be that way again? But didn't it? Okay, we'll go there. Again. And then take the right third. And now I should have a square. Not exactly, but we'll go with it. Some of the butter's coming out. Ugh. Okay. Gently press the seal to fold together. I mean, I'm gently just doing it, but some of the butter's helping me. Okay, so now we have to wrap the dough and rest it because the butter has become soft. That makes a lot more sense because like the butter is spewing out. So while I'm waiting for the dough, I have put a little piece that I cut off to fix up the lighting on a pan, and I'm gonna chuck it in the oven to see what it looks like. Now it's not exactly like croissant shaped, but it's gonna do the job. The experimental job. Okay, this had me laughing because look at it. It's freaking adorable. It does mean the folds are working though. Like very well. Maybe I'm doing the right thing. We'll find out, I guess, later. Well, technically, tomorrow. So, the fridge, I'm letting it warm up a little bit because it got too cold because my freezer is affecting my fridge a little bit too much. So we're letting it warm up a little bit. It has changed shape, so I'm going to re-roll it again to be precise. I've also cut off a little bit to make more better shape. And then I believe we're at the point where we can finally cut shapes into this, I think. But I'll have to reread the thing because the instructions I'm reading are not the best. So apparently it's meant to be this long when it's only this long. So I'm going to have to roll it out a bit more and make it a bit longer as well to make it perfect size. So it's a couple more steps. It's warming up a bit so I can actually roll it out now. So I'm now up to a stage where it wants me to cut it into shapes. It should be our 12 triangles, but how do I do this? So every 9 centimeters, so let's make a mark. Let's just do it this way. 9, 9, 9. I'm just saying it sounds like I'm saying no in German. 9, 9. Okay, perfect. And then along the top of the edge of the dough, measure 4 centimeters along. What? And then using a pastry wheel or cut diagonal lines, connecting the score marks. What? Can't I just cut that way, then cut that way, and then roll? Wouldn't that make more sense? So I need 12 triangles. What? So in the instructions it says, small scores every 9 centimeters, that's 9 centimeters. Along the top edge of the dough, measure 4 centimeters. So I'm assuming this means top edge, but what? And make it small on the top of the pastry. So we're technically going 4 centimeters along here. So 4 centimeters, that makes no sense. 4 centimeters. So 4, 4, 4, 4. That makes no sense. Literally no sense. I think Buddy needs to write his instructions a little bit better. Cut diagonal lines connecting the score marks along the top and the bottom edges, creating 12 triangles. That makes no sense. I'll be right back. But I've had to ask for assistance. There's a Brie here helping me. She's here. Helping us work out what this instructions means because I'm a little confused. Like, I'm going to email the guy who wrote these instructions, like, please explain, please. Okay. So that makes no sense because then they're not
Wait a minute.
What?
What if you're diagonal to this way?
Yep.
And then do a diagonal to the other way? Does that not create triangles? No, because there's middle bits will be diamonds.
Because then, as I said, like, if we're not cutting straight down and then cutting, nope. What?
This makes no sense.
What? What?
Should we check another recipe?
I think we should check a freaking YouTube video.
We're going to check some more.
We're going to check some more. We've got no option here. So
every 3 inches.
So be in between the 9s.
Yep. This to this bottom corner.
So that's not exactly the most.
Should we show a picture for reference of what the heck we're doing?
So like that.
Yep. But then,
at
this 9-inch mark, go directly straight up to your cut point. So now you have 2 triangles to like that one slab.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, about there-ish, the 3 inches to here.
I'll go that way. So that about there.
Yeah. It's like geometry. Yeah, I failed that.
I was gonna say, like, I don't even remember doing geometry in school.
Yeah, just like make that one. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm about to put them in the fridge because they got quite warm. I've now sliced an edge to each of them. There's more in the fridge. I'm just gonna grab them as I need them. And I believe it's you roll them inwards. I think. That doesn't seem right. Was it the other way around? I think it was the other way around. Not quite croissant shaped, but I guess that'll do. Maybe I should watch a video for the next couple. So while we wait for it to pop up, we're just gonna make the egg wash, which is just an egg mixed and then brushed over with a brush. I don't have a proper pastry brush, but we're gonna use
I got you, boo.
an art brush because it works as long as it's clean and brand new and not on hot things. I think these melt. Alrighty, they've puffed up enough, so I'm gonna brush the egg wash on. This brush is a little bit of a weird one to use, but we'll do it. We'll do what we got. So I did it. I think I actually did it. I need to do some like sexy slow motions of this probably. And I'm gonna say, even with that sexy slow motion, I realized after I cut them open that I had not quite done as well as I had thought. They were quite thick and bready. So it's a half success. So ignore Alana's, oh my god, I did it. It's a half success. So guys, I hope those slow motion sexies came out perfectly and the music in the background was good. We'll find out after. I mean, I'm gonna find copyright free music, but I did it. And they're all like crispy and amazing and they're crumbly. I'm gonna put those down. Thank you for watching. Follow, like, subscribe and all that on my social media. It's always appreciated. Thank you so much. Bye.